There's been a lot of talk about certain apps that are being used for evil. There's really no other term for it but evil. And it made me think a lot about evil and technology, the stuff we have, the stuff we're going to have. And I thought I would talk about it for a little bit and tell you what I think is the story of human beings' relationship to technology. We invent language. And by inventing language, we somehow instantly invent lying. We invent tools. And by inventing tools, those are also weapons. We then invent things like organizational hunting, so that we hunt in groups together and we are able to capture more prey. And in parallel to that, we develop organized warfare. We hunt each other. We then invent larger organizations, governments, philosophies, paradigms of thinking. And in every instance, each organization or paradigm or philosophy or religion is bent by a few people for personal gains or the fulfillment of their baser needs, desires. That's what happens with people. Sometimes, we think things are evil when actually, mostly they're not like that on purpose. The dark web, which is bulletin boards, which you have to dial into, is being used by evil people. But I don't think it was not created for evil. It was just an older technology that people reverted to. No one calls CB radios, the dark Nextel. CB radios are still there. They're antiquated technology. People use other things, and some of them are bad people. I don't think the dark web or the bulletin board services are necessarily all run by evil people. For example, unions have been corrupted, and I don't think they've been implemented properly. We have unions. I think they do help a lot of people, but for some reason we still have coal miners dying in accidents that are preventable, that we're supposed to have inspectors for. So I don't think we're really good with unions. Politics, our forefathers. Everyone always talks about what our forefathers intended when we talk about what we should do with democracy. But one of the things our forefathers intended is for politicians not to be professional politicians, number one. You're not supposed to serve your whole life as a politician. And number two, political parties weren't supposed to happen. George Washington, I believe, if I remember my history correctly, warned about political parties. So everything gets bent and twisted. So in the end, here we are with apps that are encouraging people to do horrible things. We should not be surprised. What does the future hold, Lance? Well, this is what we should be thinking about right now. When we're thinking about how groovy it would be for a pizza to go directly from the pizzeria to my door via drone, we should also realize that those drones would be used to deliver illegal substances and bombs. When we think about driverless cars, we should be thinking about the fact that driverless cars will be hacked and driverless cars will drive through crowds of people. And that these driverless cars will be hacked and that people will be kidnapped by their own cars and brought to places they don't want to go. And, and then, of course, logically, the worst thing is that you're driving to work, they hack your car, and your car drives through a crowd of people, and the law enforcement doesn't know whether you're driving the car or that it's been hacked, and you're an innocent person in a car driving through a crowd of people, and they have to shoot you. These are things, unfortunately, we have to tackle every single time we see a new technology being implemented. And that's what I think about it. I hope it's thought-provoking. I hope we get some conversation going and perhaps we ask some more questions we can talk about. Thank you for asking me questions. Thank you for this back and forth. Thank you very much for liking and subscribing and sharing the other videos. It means a lot to me. And hope to talk to you again soon. Thank you.